If you are a woke parent, which I think that is how these people are coming across, if you are a woke parent, you should have taken your time to go on to maybe CBB's channel and check what kind of program they showcase to children. There was a time. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Start Mom of 5 and I'm also known as TMO5 Candle Co. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. And yes, I am back again with another unpopular opinion video. And this unpopular opinion video, I thought I had to come out here and say something in regards to the unpopular opinion. So the unpopular opinion is based on a video or a live stream a popular YouTuber made. I'm not going to mention names so that people or fan base won't come and say, oh, why are you always that, why are you that? But I decided to come out here with my own unpopular opinion in regards to like, what do they teach our kids at school? So as you all know, I'm a mom of 5 kids, and if you want to learn more about my journey, you can always scroll back through my channel. However, just a quick summary. So I had 4 of my kids here in the UK, and the oldest was a year old when we left Nigeria. And now they are ages 19, 18, 16, 13 and 11, which means that they've all had their education here in the UK. So when I came across that video on the street of YT, there was something this person in this live stream said, and which I watched in another via a reactors channel, that they don't want their kids to be taught the sex. And I think this person's child was watching something on TV, maybe a supposed channel for young children, and they were about to showcase something that she felt was too young for her kids. We're going to come back to that. So when she talked about the things that they teach our kids in school, that you don't know what they teach your kids at school or something like that, for me, I actually did not watch that live stream, because if I'm not on a live stream and I'm not watching it live, I don't have the time to go and sit down and start watching 3 hours of live stream. So when I'm talking about unpopular opinion, like I said, all of my kids had their education here. And being a parent who has or whose children are school in the UK, I felt like, no, I need to come in here. And this video is mostly to kind of like share more information and kind of like maybe shed more light as to the role you can actually take when it comes to what your kids get taught at school, what stage they get taught at, what age they get taught at, what you as a parent can do, and what that child in regards to their age could do based on what they are being taught at school. So I'm in Glasgow, and there's something called curriculum, educational curriculum. And I've got a note here because I don't want to forget anything. So I've written out the important stuff. So in terms of curriculum, there's curriculum and areas of learning. So areas of learning and curriculum. So year 1 and 2 is known as foundation stage. And if you want to read more about these things I'm talking about, I'm going to leave a link in the description box, and I'm also maybe leave it on the screen here so you can go back there and read based on what I'm talking about. And then years 3 and 4 is known as key stage 1, and years 5, 6 and 7 is key stage 2. And when we talk about areas of learning at primary school, so there's language and literacy. There's a wide range of areas of learning at primary school and at secondary level. So if you want to read more based on that, this link I'm going to pop on the screen and the description box, you can click on that link. So as a parent in the UK, so you know what rights you have based on what your kids get taught at school and what they don't get taught at school, and what you can and cannot exclude your kids from being taught at school. So in terms of national curriculum, I'm going to pop the website here where you can further on go read based on what areas you are in the UK. Kids or your children get taught about relationships. They get taught the sex and health education and religious education. So your kids being taught these things is dependent on the school they go. So if your kids attend a private school, the private school might have their own curriculum that they teach their school, so they don't necessarily have to follow a national curriculum. However, there will be some things that are a major importance of that curriculum that they teach in that private school. If your child attends a state-funded school, the national curriculum will suffice, and these things will get taught at school. So in terms of SEX education, this is compulsory in secondary school. And I can tell you that since all of my kids went through primary school, I don't think I've ever received a notice or a letter to say SEX education is going to be taught to my kids. So my last child is currently in primary 7 and she's going to secondary school after the summer holiday. Every year, every time she's been in school, we do get something like this, so which involves what they are learning each term. So if you see there it says curriculum, I want to kind of like block out the name of the teacher. If you see there it says primary 7 curriculum newsletter. So each term of each class she's been, I've always gotten one of this letter, and on it it says what we are learning about. I'll pop a picture here so you could see what I'm talking about. And then they've got numeracy, what they are teaching them in regards to numeracy. Then they've got literacy, what they are teaching them in terms of literacy. They've got health and well-being, what they are teaching them in terms of health and well-being. There's RERC, which is religious education, and then other things they do in terms of activities, sports, and then homework, what they are teaching them in terms of homework. So like I said, all of my kids all got this every year. They were in primary school from primary 1 up until primary 7, and they get this each term. So that's that out of the way. So this takes me back to the SEX education. Never did I receive a letter to say that was going to be taught to any of my kids while they were in primary school. So if your child is in high school, secondary school, they will be taught SEX education. And as a parent, if you don't want your child to be taught SEX education, you can always withdraw your kid or your child from being taught that. So maybe there's some part of SEX education you don't want your child to be open to, you don't want your child to attend, you can withdraw your kid. If there's a particular part of that education that you want your child to be involved in, you can let your child be a part of it. And then when SEX education is being taught, it's taught as part of relationships and sex education. So parents cannot, you cannot, regardless of your child's age in secondary school, you cannot withdraw your child from sex education taught in science. So I think in this aspect we're talking about maybe reproductive system or maybe parts of the body in biology or stuff like that. You cannot exclude your child from such because it's something that is being taught via science. So primary schools can choose to teach sex education, but it is not compulsory, which brings me back to the fact that while all my kids were attending primary school, never did I receive a letter to say, oh, this is going to be part of their curriculum for the year, or this is going to be part of their curriculum for the term. So when someone comes out and starts saying what they teach you don't even know what they teach your kids at school, you have a say in what your child is being taught at school, either at primary school or either at secondary school. The only time you don't have a say is when that child is 18 years old and that child is still in secondary school. Then you don't have a say. So it's up to that child to decide if he or she wants to be taught that or if he or she does not want to be taught that. So I hope that clears that. And other things that the school also teaches, either primary school or secondary school, is health education. This is compulsory for all pupils in either state or funded primary school and secondary school education. Religious studies as well, religious education. Schools have to teach this, but parents can choose to withdraw their kids. So let's say, for instance, now I'm Anglican, and while I'm in the UK, I attend a Pentecostal church, but the school my kids all went to is a Catholic school. So I'm happy with the Christian faith, but just because the school is a Catholic school does not necessarily mean that my child has to go through all this communion, because I'm not conversant with it. And if I want if I'm interested, I will have put my kid up for this communion. But children who are Catholic in that school, their parents put them up for the communion they do and all this baptismal thing. But for me, because I was brought up as Anglican, it's not something I'm interested in. But that doesn't mean that I should exclude my kid from anything regarding any religious studies. So in this aspect as well, if you are a Muslim family and your child is attending a school which is a Christian school, that will be taught as well. Your child will be taught, your child will be taken to school, your child will be taught Christian education, religious education. Only if you as a parent say, because you're Muslim, you don't want your child in classes where religious education is being taught, you can do that. But just because you're a Muslim child and it's a Christian school, you now to want, and you now say, oh, you don't want to teach. No, the school will teach all of the kids only if you as a parent say, you know what, when you're doing religious studies, when you're talking about Christianity, because my child is a Muslim, or because we are a Muslim, I don't want my child, you want to exclude your child, you can do that. So as a parent also, whatever your kid or your children watch on TV, it's up to you as a parent to keep an eye on what they watch. So in summary, what I'm trying to say in this regard is that whatever your child watches on the TV, either as a children's program, it's up to you as a parent. So for instance, if you're fond of keeping your child in front of a TV to watch a children's program, you can always go to the website of that TV channel to find out what their ethos are, what they showcase on their channel. Say for instance, there's BBC or there's CBBS. If you are one that you want to keep your child occupied to watch children's programs, you can go on to CBBS to have an idea of what kind of programs they showcase for children. So you saying something's about to go on the channel and you're on the TV and you decide to change what your children is watching, that is at your own peril, because before you could actually trust the program on that TV, if you are a woke parent, which I think that is how these people are coming across, if you are a woke parent, you should have taken your time to go on to maybe CBBS channel and check what kind of program they showcase to children. There was a time there was an uproar about The Simpsons. I think there was a program at some point, or an episode on The Simpsons, where they were kind of like showcasing the LGBT, and there was a lot of uproar, people complained that, oh, such programs shouldn't have been heard just like that without any notification or something from the channel, which is all right. Like, obviously as a media channel, if you're going to start showing something like that, it's like a new lifestyle that is being practiced. So some people are open to it and some people are not open to it. But when it comes to children programs, it's not just something you just bring straight onto your program. There should have been a forewarning to say, this program is going to start hearing this program is going to start hearing that. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. You guys, let me know if you can like understand where I'm coming from. In summary, so if your child is in primary school, they don't necessarily get taught sex education. No, just like I said, that all of my kids have had their nursery primary school education in this country, and never have I received a notification to say they are going to be taught sex education in primary school. And if that were to be happening, the school will notify you, and that is to give you as a parent the chance to voice your concern if you want your child to be taught or you don't want your child to be taught. And when your child goes to secondary school, sex education will be taught. And I believe as a parent, you will agree with me that you actually want your child to be taught sex education, because either your child gets taught sex education in school, or you as a parent want to have that conversation with your child. Trust me, your child already knows half of what you're here to speak to them about once they finish or before they finish primary school. So the school, high school or secondary school, teaching them about sex education is a plus, or is an extra, maybe extra help, extra push from the school to say, okay, this has been taught to your child. It's up to you as a parent to now call that child down, talk to them, have a chat with them, question them to kind of like understand what understanding of sex they have. And it's important also as a parent that to know that when schools or secondary school teaches your kids about sex education, they are teaching them to watch out for so many things, either abuse, either people being mishandled, either people suffering for no reason or the other. It might not be just for them, but they might be able to observe those signs among their classmates, their schoolmates, whereby they'll be able to seek help for them when maybe such friends is not able to speak to the teacher themselves, but as a friend in their class, they experience that based on what they are being taught, they'll be able to approach the teacher and say, oh, I'm concerned about my friend, I'm concerned about my friend, or my friend told me this, my friend told me that. So for me, the school, wherever your child is schooling, wants the best for you. I can only speak of being in the UK. I can't speak of Nigeria or anywhere else, because education system in Nigeria is messed up. But here, education system is just as you, it's not far from you buying a mortgage, because you are investing your money by buying a mortgage. And your kid going into school, education is just the same, like, because you are building your future and you are building your child to have a better start in life, which is why they go into school. So guys, let me know in the comment section if you agree with these things I'm saying. Here in the UK, you are given the chance, if something is going to be introduced to your kid at school, especially in primary school, you get a newsletter, you get a link, you get like an email, and this information is being communicated to you as a parent to her, to let them know if you've got any concerns about what they're about to do. And if there are concerns, you decide that, okay, I want to withdraw my child from being taught this. You can go ahead after school, but when you're about to teach this thing, could you please exclude my child, or could you let me know what days in the week this is going to be taught, or this activity is going to be taught, so I know not to send my kid to school. But when it comes to secondary school, all of these things I've mentioned, sex education, religious education, name it all, your child will be taught them, and you cannot exclude your child from such education. Just like I said, sex education that are being taught in science subjects, you can't exclude your child. Only if your child is at the age of 18 and they say, okay, they want to exclude themselves. But in primary school, sex education and stuff like that are not being taught. And if there's any of you in the UK and you felt that your child being in primary school, that they've been taught that, let me know in the comment section so we can, see how we can answer this question. But I can assure you, when you're passing information online, you want to be coming up with facts, you want to be coming up with details, you want to be coming up with things to back up what you're saying. Don't just come online and share things just because you think, oh, I've got the audience, let me just yarn some things. No, maybe the country of where you are residing now, maybe that's how things work there. But then when it comes to, there are stages being applied, there are ages being applied to things kids are being taught. Like, it comes in different foundations. So I hope I've been able to pass my message across. This is not to shade or talk down on anybody. It's just to pass across information that as a parent, even though you send your kids to a free school or to a private school, you have a say, you have a right to hear your discontentment, you have a right to say, no, I don't want my child to be taught this, and you have a right to also say, yes, I don't have an issue with that. Anyway, if this video makes sense and you think, yeah, you actually agree with what I've said, do let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to drop me a comment. Like this video if you're here to like, share as well, and let people know that yes, if what I've said is a lie, let us talk in the comment section. Share this video, subscribe if you're here to do so, and don't forget to join my membership, and also turn on that post notification so you don't miss any other unpopular opinion I might have in the nearest future. And I hope to see you in my next video. All right, bye.